Hey folks, it's Norman here. How you doing today? Have my hair up. Want to put it down? I forgot. Okay, starting today, we're gonna do something very different. We're gonna just do one song a day. Pretend it's a music video, just like everything else, and it's just one song. This song today is about Jenny, and I'm gonna explain the entire story behind it because it's only one song. Okay, so I was doing telemarketing and there was a girl sitting next to me. Her name was Heidi, and I kind of wanted to go out with her, but I didn't want to just ask her out. So I wrote a song, not about her, not about me, just called Looking for a Love Song. Looking for a love to write a song about, or a love song. So I wrote this song called Looking for a Love Song, and I gave it to her. And she thanked me, she wasn't anything big, no big deal. So I get a phone call a couple of days later. This guy is in a band. He says he wants to put music to my song. And I said, what song? And he says, Looking for a Love Song. And I said, you got that from Heidi? He said, yeah. I said, oh, okay. So he said, come down Wednesday when we have band practice. And I said, okay. He gave me his address. Now, I lived in Denver, and Denver is kind of like Brooklyn, I guess. Brooklyn, I have Borough Park, you have all kinds of different Canarsie, you have uh, Bay Ridge, you have all different sections of Brooklyn. And Denver is kind of the same way. You have Aurora, you have Arvada, you have Glendale. You have different sections of Denver. And when you go up Colfax Avenue, which is the main street that goes all the way through town, when you go east and you get to the end, there's the railroad tracks, and you go over the railroad tracks, and then down below is a subdivision of houses, all little tiny little cracker box houses. Those tiny little houses, all in this one little section, and it's called Commerce City, and it's all Mexicans, and this is where the guy lived. So I went to his house, and there's all these kids running around, and there's all he got all these people looking at me because I'm driving an orange Volkswagen. They all have low riders, and I'm 6'3", and they said, "Who's this guy?" Anyway, I go into his house, and there's all these kids running around. He tells me he has 9 kids. You know, so I asked him what he does. He says he's a construction worker in the daytime, and he plays in the band 3 nights a week. And he got my song. He wants to put music to it. So I asked him a little bit more, and the funny part of the story is his band plays in the bars in Commerce City, and they're all Mexicans. So the members of the band are all Mexicans. They don't speak English, and the bar is a Mexican bar where there's all Mexicans hanging out in the bar. So I'm thinking they play Mexican music. He tells me they play country western music. And I thought that was funny. But the guys couldn't speak English, but they knew the lyrics to the songs, or he would sing them, I guess. But it was just funny. They sang country western in Mexican bars, But so my songs can be country western, and that kind of turned me on. So I'm sitting there on his couch, and he went to get something to drink, and I'm looking over at the other side of the room, and there's a little doorway, and there's a girl standing in the doorway, and I didn't want to scare her, but I said, "Hi, how are you?" And she didn't move. I said, "It's okay, don't be afraid. I'm a friend of your dad's." And she still didn't move. I said, "What's your name?" Didn't move. My name's Norman. Like I said, I'm a friend of your dad's. He's going to put music to my song. Do you like music? Nothing. Not even a move. Nothing. Not even a smile. Nothing. Just a blank stare. I keep trying and trying and trying and trying to talk to her, and nothing. So I put my head down in disgust. And when I pick it up, she's like right here, staring me in the face, in the eyes. And I asked her again, "What's your name?" And she didn't answer. And I was talking very, very softly. She didn't answer. And I asked her again, and she didn't answer. And I told her the same thing. "I'm a friend of your dad's. He's here to put music. Do you like music?" No answer, no response. Finally, I get so frustrated. She could see it in my face. She turns around and runs out of the room. So then her father comes in from the other side with two drinks in his hand, and he looks at me and he says, "What's the matter with you? You look like you saw a ghost." So I told him what happened, and he says, "Oh, you must have met my daughter Jenny." And I said, "Darren, you have 5 kids. How do you know it was Jenny?" He said, "Oh, that's easy. Jenny's deaf." And I said, "Oh, man. No wonder she couldn't say anything because she can't talk. Oh my God, I don't believe it." I said, "She's deaf." And he said, "Yeah." And he said, then he tells me that she was born deaf and they didn't know she was deaf until she was 5 years old. And, I said, "Well, um, how did you know?" And he said, "Well, we had a party for her on her 5th birthday. All the kids were here, and I grabbed my guitar and I was singing Puff the Magic Dragon, and all the kids were singing except her, and that's when I knew she was deaf." And when he told me that, I said, "Darren, give me a pen and a paper. I'm going to write you a song right now." And while he went to get the pen and paper, I'm already thinking, okay, start it out at 3, go to 5, the bridge would be 7, the ending will be 9. Okay, what's the chorus going to be? Can you hear me, Jenny? And I started writing it in my mind, and then when he gave me the pen and paper, it took me like 10 minutes to write the lyrics. And I kind of had music for it, but not really. I just had the lyrics right there. So I gave him a copy and I kept the copy. And I had it printed up in my book, my book of the first book I had printed up, 58 great songs I've written dedicated to those who doubted me. This is, by the way, in the picture I posted with Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull. He saw my book. I won a poetry contest and got to meet him. He saw the book. He was very impressed. But the thing is I put it in the book. Okay. Now I'm trying to I'm trying to do something with my music, and I'm going to this casino where there's this guy singing George Peevich, and I go into the lounge and there's nobody in there. I'm the only one, and he gets up and he starts doing cover songs. And I listened to his voice and I said, "Wow, what a phenomenal voice." I said, "If this guy can sing my songs, that would be fantastic." So I watched him play and I went and I saw him again in another casino. And after the third time, there was never anybody in the audience. There was never anybody in the audience. After the third time, I gave him my book, a copy of my book, and I asked him to sing one song. And he said he would look through it. Now, he picked Jenny, and he recorded it in his basement where the acoustics were really, really good. He sang it with an acoustic guitar and his voice, And when you heard it, you just wanted to cry. You wanted to just melt. You know, it was so beautiful. Problem was, at the end of the song, his phone rang. And I said, "Oh no, I can't do anything with this. I gotta have that taken out." So I went and saw him again, and I asked him if he could re-record it, and he said no. He said he's done with it. So I said, okay. I thanked him. I said, I appreciate it. I'll get something done. So I brought it to my friend Mike, who had a studio in town, and I asked him if he could cut out the phone. And he started explaining to me about how studios work and all this other stuff. And he said he can add a beginning and he can add an ending. And I said, Mike, do what you can, just fix it, you know? So I gave it to him. He called me up about a week later and he says, I've got almost finished. Do you want to hear it? So I said, okay. And I drive down to the studio and he plays it for me. And he's got guitars and he's got keyboards and his wife is singing on the chorus. And I listened and I said, where's the drums? And he says, oh, I haven't gotten to that yet. And I said, well, let me do it. I'm a drummer. And he says, have you ever played electric drums? I said, how hard can it be? You know, so I sat down on the drums and I did the drums in one take. And as I'm walking away, he says, wait a minute, do you want to sing? And I said, are you kidding me? George has got such a phenomenal voice, and then your wife is singing on the chorus. What do you want me to sing? He said, I want you to sing the low part on the chorus. So that way we have 3-part harmony. So I started to sing, Can You Hear Me, Jenny? I sing this song for you. Anyway, so he gives me the mic, and I'm standing in front of the microphone, and I got the headphones on, and I sing the low part on the chorus, and it comes out really, really good in one take. So that was the finished product. And I'm going to play it for you now. This is George Peevich singing Can You Hear Me, Jenny, with me on the drums. And here we go. By the fireplace, my children at my side. Singing life's the best of time, watch the children smile. My singing makes the music, the kids all sing along. But not a word from you, and it turns so long. Can you hear me, Jenny? I think that's all you. There's nowhere for me to say that I love you. I don't know what to do. Keep on making music, only one thing of you. When she was free and worried me, she didn't speak a word. Figured a child, but that boy still nothing more than a single she saw. I sang my music loud and can you hear me? I sing this song for you. It's just a way for me to say that I love you. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Just keep on making music. One more day of you. My passion all day, 'cause I'm working day and night. My heart beats for my children when I'm old and tired. I might get it done. My one deaf child, oh Jenny. And there you have it. That's the finished product. After all that was just meant to be. It was just meant to be. Anyway, that's the song for today. If you want to get in touch with me, stornor94@yahoo.com. I'll take all comments there. I don't, I'll post this on Facebook, but I won't be watching any comments on Facebook. I've got too many emails and notifications and all that stuff. So have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. All right.